Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about one of the new archetypes from Phantom Rage, which is Mutants. This archetype is pretty hype, it looks very cool, and the effects are also all pretty good. There's a lot of things to say about this archetype and about this deck list, and yeah, as a first kind of sort of introduction, let's just start off with the thing that is most clear about the archetype, and that is that there are just too few cards right now. Although the deck is really good and the cards are really valuable, it's really difficult to get that value out of the cards because all of the boss monsters require them to be summoned with fusion or with the mutant card effects. So to collect things out, we have 3 small monsters that can be normal summoned or special summoned by any way. And when they are normal or special summoned, they get their effect. You can add a card from your deck to your hand. And then they have another effect that you can banish a card from your field or from your hand to special summon a mutant, corresponding to the card type banished. They have a spell mutant, a trap mutant, and a monster mutant. So that's already looking pretty solid. Then they have, they have the boss monsters that you can summon. You have Beast, Arsenal, Mist, and they all have effects that either pop or banish cards or a semi-negate stuff. It's okay. It's pretty fair. It's like pretty control-esque, but they can only be special summoned with mutant effects, and that's what's really limiting about this deck. It's really difficult to make a combo deck around them. Initially people thought, just like me, it would be really good with Thunder Dragons, because Thunder Dragons effects trigger when they are banished, which is pretty good synergy, but the deck just doesn't work towards anything after that, really. Because, what would be really cool is if you would, summon a mutant effects, then banish Roar and link them away, but you kind of need your mutant to stay on the field. It's just really restricting at the moment, because you can only basically summon 2 monsters if you're lucky at once. In this deck, like, it's really cool, but I just wish it was kind of better. So to add to that, they have a couple of spells, which are all just kind of slow. The equip card already requires you to have field presence, which is difficult for the deck. And the field card helps you unbrick, which is nice, but it's just not what the deck really needs. And the fusion spell could just be better. The trap cards are all pretty solid, but they are traps and that's ridiculously slow. So due to all these restrictions and this really slow, mechanical of the deck, I worked together with a friend of mine, Bruce, that you all know as the Plunder Patrol captain. And he made a stun deck, and I shamelessly stole that deck list, and I am going to feature that to you guys now. Yesterday I watched a couple of hours when Sam was streaming against Bruce and they were playing Mutant Mirrors. Sam was playing Thunder Dragon and Bruce was playing Control, which was really fun to see actually, so that's really cool. So on its own, this deck is really looking good. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's really cool how it works, and you will love the archetype. It's so much fun, but it just could, be slightly better. This is the first draft of the build. This is nowhere to be finished. I actually haven't really built anything myself, but I do know that I've played it a little bit. So I really tried making the Thunder Dragon build work, but it just didn't work out for me. Yeah, so. Without further ado, let's go straight into the deck list. So be prepared for one of the slowest deck lists you've ever seen in a while. I like my control decks personally, and I am sure that you will like them too. One of the best cards to play in this deck is Dimensional Shifter, because this deck doesn't care if the cards are banished or not. There are some effects that include graveyards, but we don't play those. We are not playing all the mutant cards, so yeah, this card is really just broken. This is one of the best anti-meta cards out there right now. This totally stops Dragon Link from playing, and it's just super, super good. Don't activate it if they have no monsters, because then they will just gamma you. But this card is perfect for this deck, which is why we will be playing it at 3. Then to start things off, we are going with triple Mutant 05. One of the 2 monsters that you can summon. If this card is normal special summoned, add 1 mutant monster from your deck to your hand, except Mutant M05. You can tribute this card, banish 1 card from your hand or face-up field, special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck based on the banished card. Monster, summon Beast, spell, summon Mist, trap, summon Arsenal. That's all once per turn. And the second one is also Mutant ST46 with a very similar effect. Only when he is summoned you can add a spell or trap card. So they set like each other up. Like you can add a monster and then you can banish that monster, so you don't really go minus, but you are not going plus as well. We are playing double beasts. Cannot be special summoned except with the effect of a mutant card. Your opponent cannot target this card with monster effects. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect, quick effect, banish one card from your hand or field, negate the activation. So beast is a negate. And if you do, banish that card, which is really cool. If this card is in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, target one of the banished mutant traps added to your hand. So beast is summonable by banishing a monster from your hand, which is pretty solid. So it's a spell negate. Of course you do have to have like additional resources. But you know, then we're playing one arsenal as well. Just look at how cool this card look. They all look very cool. Cannot be special summoned except by the effect, blah blah blah. Your opponent cannot target this card with trap effects. Wow, cool. You can only use each effect once per turn. Nice. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, banish one card from your hand or field, then target one monster on the field, banish it. So this doesn't negate, it just banishes a card on the field. Which is cool, but it's just kinda meh. And when he's destroyed by opponent's card, you can target one banished spell added to your hand. And Arsenal is the one that you can summon by banishing a trap. We are playing loads of traps, so this is definitely a monster that you will summon. We are playing really not a lot of spell cards. Also, Mist really is not like the best. So we are not playing any Mist in the deck. We are playing triple Nibiru for being a good hand trap and a staple card. That's it for the monsters. Then for the spells, we play triple Evolution Lab. What even is that artwork? It works. When this card is activated, special summon one of your level 4 lower mutant monsters from your hand, or that is banished, which is pretty solid. Mutant monsters you control gain 100 attack for each of your banished mutant cards, with different names. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place one mutant monster from your hand to the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw one card. So this kind of unbricks your hand if you draw a lot of the big monsters. Then we play one mutant fusion. Fusion summon one mutant fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed from your hand or field. If your opponent activated a card or effect this turn, you can use up to one monster each from your deck and graveyard as fusion material. This card is really solid, but it would have just been better if it didn't have the restriction that your opponent had to have activated the effect. This kind of incentivizes the going second builds a little bit more, which is the Thunder Dragon build basically. But it's just like not good enough, requiring your opponent to have activated anything. Then, for consistency. Then, Terraforming for consistency. Then, Emergency Teleport, because both mutants are psychic. That's it for the spells. So the rest of all the cards are traps. We are playing triple Mutant Expansion. When you activate this card, take one level 4 lower mutant monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or special summon it. If a level 8 or higher mutant monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from you control instead. Solid card, adding more consistency and also being able to be banished on the field is also like it's a target for the S2 and AM. We are playing triple Mutant Cry, being a normal trap card, which will come up later as well. During the main phase, fusion summon one mutant fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling fusion materials listed into the deck among cards on the field in your graveyard, and face up banished cards. Which is one of the easiest ways to get out the fusions, because the normal fusion spell just is not that good. Then we are playing triple Imperm, being a staple card. Now the beast and the arsenal, they are all very different types. This is a beast, this is a machine. Beast is a beast, wow. Wow. So we are playing triple, there can be only one, because we are playing a very slow deck. We are playing triple trap trick to get out your fusion or Imperm or double Ice Dragon Prison. And the last card to round it off at 40 is another anti-meta card, which is Macrocosmos. That's it for the entire main deck. As you see, very slow. At the moment, that's just the best that mutants can and will do. So we have to wait until we get more support. And we play for the extra deck triple Ultimus. Yeah, like, there's not really anything you are looking for in the extra deck, so we are just maxing out currently. Let's take a look at that beautiful artwork. It requires 3 level 8 or higher mutant monsters, which is pretty difficult to do. So this is more of the late game, or when you used your other fusion monster and it's dead already. When a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can banish 1 mutant card from your hand, graveyard, or face-up field of the same type, monster's power trap. Negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. It's Makaba. And if he is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add up to 3 of your banished mutant cards, each one monster, spell, and trap to your hand. That's Ultimus. It's a pretty strong card, but it's just really difficult to get him out. Then Synthesis, which is a card that you will make quite more, requiring 2 mutant monsters with different attributes, which are all of them. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 card on the field to destroy it. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, this face-up card is unaffected by the effects of an opponent's card of the same type as banished from this card. So, kind of underwhelming. And if he is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add 1 of the banished mutant cards. Or add 1 of your banished mutant cards to your hand. Yeah, that's it. So it's cool to interrupt your opponent with a pop in their turn, but it's not really like the best or something. And the rest of it's basically filler, IP in case, nightmares, you know, in case it can come up. To link climb. This deck can play Blackluster Soldier of Chaos, because you play so many high level monsters. Verta Anaconda in case you can fuse. Double Cross Shape. Cross Shape is actually quite nice. Bringing back mutants in the opponent's turn is pretty cool. When you fusion someone with the trap, and the last card is access code just in case. That's it. There's really not a lot to talk about or discuss. This deck just needs a couple more cards to be really good. They have, I think, like something like their own emergency teleport would be really, really solid, or like recurring banishing effects. But as of right now, it's just kind of lackluster. Although it is a lot of fun to play. Like, trust me, if you play this deck online, it's like so much fun. Stun always is like fun. So yeah, I am sure that you guys will enjoy this deck list. If you like this deck list, leave a comment down below, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys soon. Bye guys.